Everyone, we have an amazing guest with us today, Ada Parris, and welcome, Ada.
Hi, good morning, Stephanie. Well, good morning where I am in
Yes,
London.
good
Chilly London
morning.
today.
Yes, also chilly here. Before we dive in, I would love to read your bio because I want everyone to understand who we're talking with here.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
so Ada Parris is a futurist, artist, and relational ecologist, recognized by Forbes Brazil as one of the world's most influential futurists. Through the Presence Lab and her frameworks, she bridges ancestral wisdom with innovation, helping leaders navigate complexity with integrity and presence. She asks one essential question: what type of ancestor do you want to be? So that's what that's a small description of everything you're doing. What I'd love to talk with you about today are really two general topics. One, how you get the word out about your work, and you can tell us about your work, and then also what you find most meaningful about your work, and how this connects to, or not, your meaningful third act. So you have the floor. Tell us about you and your work.
Such small questions, right?
Tiny.
Just tiny. But such meaningful questions and things that I appreciate them because I don't feel that we often give ourselves enough time to
Mm,
really be so self-reflective. We've really got into many of us. So I'm even mindful about saying we. Many of us have got into a place of doing rather than being. So how I get the word out about what I do and what do I do? Introductions, job titles aside, I'm human, which means that I am passionately curious, enthusiastic, and smart and vulnerable and complex and all of those things. And what I do, and I think I'm going to, for me, I probably bring those two questions together.
perfect.
So because the way that I get my word out, market myself has changed. And I'm in this
Mm,
space at the moment where I'm kind of trying to work out what the new third act, how do I talk about the third act? Um, so the first act was, and I love the fact you use acts.
mm.
The first act, I was quite shy.
Which
I
is hard
said,
to believe because you're such an energetic, bright presence.
you know what it is? I think I understand more that the shyness was actually my introversion and lack of
Mm,
confidence and making myself small to try and make other people feel comfortable.
mm,
And so the first act was, and look, I was part of some amazing projects, not but, I was helping to build other people's visions,
yeah.
other people's ideas, and I was behind the scenes, happy to kind of, well, back then I say I was happy to be behind the scenes. Now with hindsight, I didn't feel confident enough to be anywhere else.
Mm,
So the first act was I helped to, build, design, build, run, facilitate the School of Communications Arts 2.0. I co-designed a summer school for the advertising industry, which became the graduate program. So there are various kind of, if you look at, there was a lot around education design. And the
okay.
way that I did that was, and how that got out was because I was in the hub of it all. So I worked for a membership organization
Mm,
and I've always been very good at seeing people and letting them
mm.
know that they're seen and that
Oh,
they're
wow.
heard and that they have value and that they have voices. And so in within those spaces, I was really good at connecting and seeing people and asking their opinion and actually really caring and taking what they've said and
Mhm.
turning it into something. So that's how I was able to help. Now I understand it as design, but I didn't understand it as design. It was just that's how I do things. So the first act was how things got out was because I had a reputation, I still have a reputation of caring, of
Mm.
empathy, compassion, of making sure people are seen. In amongst all the noise and the job titles and everything
Yes.
else, it's like, oh, I see you.
But
And the
that's
conversation we had at dinner about your kids or your guitar collection,
mm.
5 years later, I may not remember your name. I may not remember which company you worked at, but I remember we had a conversation about your guitar collection or your
Yeah.
kids or something.
But that's so powerful that you, two things. One, that you are keenly aware of what you're really good at and you can just name it. I'm really good at this.
Yeah,
And that is such a phenomenal gift. And it actually is a form of marketing without maybe even realizing it. Like I don't think you're doing that on purpose or did that on purpose at the time. That's just who you are.
yeah.
And that is what is at the core of connecting with people, which is all marketing is. But please continue.
No, look, I thank you for saying that because
Hmm.
I mean, I studied marketing. I did a Chartered Institute
Okay.
in the advanced bit, and that was to understand communication. But when people ask me about my marketing,
Hmm.
it's like a level of anxiety hits my body, and I'm like, oh
Not that word.
my God. Or networking, I'm like, oh, because I
Ah!
have to go and stand and speak to somebody. So part of my job at those times was networking events, and I hated the idea
Mm,
of to be able to go up and start speaking to somebody and coming from a place of lack of confidence in myself and making myself small. It was difficult. But so
mhm.
what I did is I always looked for the person who looked more frightened than me. And then I'd go up
Brilliant.
and say, hi. Yeah. So that's the first act. The second act was starting to ask more questions
Mm,
and going, well, I'll sit there and go, yeah, but you're saying this and you're saying this, and neither of you are talking together. Or, but I'm not hearing. So this was in the tech world.
right.
Like, yeah, but I'm not hearing the stuff that people will call me a hippie, but I'm not hearing the stuff. Where's the human in this?
Mm,
Where are we negating our responsibilities? And that's where the relational ecologist bit came up. It was well, technology is really about relationships,
hmm.
not just
Everything. Yeah.
digital. And it's relationship with ourselves, with others, and with our environment. And so that became the lens through in your language, your listeners, that's marketing. But to me,
Hmm.
it's like, oh, I'm just building relationships.
Well, that's what I always say to people. I say, if you don't like the word marketing or networking, just forget about it and just call it connecting. Just
Yeah.
focus on connecting, building trust, listening, everything you're speaking about. So this is like a perfect alignment.
Oh, wonderful. Because have I had a marketing strategy? No.
Yeah, but you
But
have clients because
yeah,
what you're doing works.
yeah. Thank you. And so that was the second act. And and a lot of what I love is that there's been this waterfall effect
Mm,
of my career, my path, paths, because I'm open. I look up now rather than looking down, going, no, I've never really said I need to be this or
mm,
I need to be this. It's the jobs that I had, especially the first two acts, were other people recognized things in me and opportunities were opened up. And then I was invited in. Oh, you're really, so the big leap from the first act to the second act was because people recognized I'm really good at building communities and nurturing communities and holding spaces for them and all of that. And so the second act became community building and holding an invitation and designing for communities. But I had never, if I had thought about it, I wouldn't have put myself in those spaces.
right.
And so the marketing about that bit was because I'd built a lot of connections from the first act who followed me into the second act because I went, oh, I'm doing this now. So I don't
Yeah.
know what you're doing, but it's going to be fun. And it's
That's
going to be,
that's
there'll probably be a costume or a headdress or something. You will go off and do some weird thing and come back and say to us, oh my God, there's this. And I was starting to connect the dots with things outside of my echo chamber
hmm.
and encouraging people to connect dots with things outside their echo chambers and saying the things that you think are frightening or taboo or outside of yourselves and all of those things, that's probably where the lessons and the insights that you really want, you can find them. And if you're brave enough to step outside of those things, outside of going to finance conference and only hearing finance people speaking, why not bring an artist in?
Hmm.
Why not get an artist to do a residency in your organization? Because artists are storytellers who understand and perceive the nuances and the invisible and all of that stuff. So that's how the second bit came. And
Well,
this, go
yeah,
on.
I just wanted to say because I think it's so beautiful what you said. I don't even know if you realized it, but that everyone from your first act naturally followed you because they're attracted to you and what you're doing. It's not, oh, she's this or that. It's just it's Otter, and so we want to follow where she's going. We want to learn what she's learning. We want to stay in her orbit. So that's another unconscious marketing thing that happened because and it's not like you're out there building the brand of Otter, but you were unconsciously because people are like, I have to be around her. I have to be around her energy. I want to follow her and see where she goes. So that's really beautiful.
That's a beautiful reflection because thank you, because that really feeds into this third act.
Okay.
So this third act, the the shift, the transition has been that I spent the last 18 months, no, or nearly 2 years now, writing my first book.
Yes, very
It's
exciting. Coming out soon.
it was out on the
It's
1st of January.
oh, 1st of January. Okay, I thought it was
Yeah.
March. Perfect.
And wow, what a journey.
I will include a link to the book.
Yeah, what a journey.
Yeah,
So a couple of
a
things to
lot.
set some context. I am 54, menopausal, diagnosed with ADHD and borderline autism at 52, and got a dog, a whippet, high brain dog, all happened at the same time.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, but I was like, oh, I can do this. It's great. But what I realized is that I had to slow everything right down and almost stop. And that included, so to be able to write, and
Hmm.
whilst the process was brutal and liberating, what also happened is a huge process of unmasking who I am, who I thought I was, the narrative of the Ada that goes onto the stage and does the talks and does all this stuff and is, great at is known for the bio and the
Hmm.
CV and the blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh, but I'm more than that.
Mm.
And if I am asking people the question, what type of ancestor do you want to be? I have to look inside of myself first and understand how I'm addressing that question. And a big part of that was, well, I need to change my name back, the way I spell my name. So I was born Ada, ADA, which is Nigerian Igbo, so Igbo name, all firstborn daughters given that name. And at school, I kept being called Ada. And people go, yeah, but Ada Lovelace. I'm like, no, it's Ada.
No. Yeah.
So I added an H to my
Mm.
name, and
Ah.
people started to pronounce it Ada. I was like, yes, great. But now in this third act, I'm like, but that's not who I am because I've changed the meaning
Mm.
of who I am. And so changing, being very public about the fact that I'm changing back to AD, the spelling ADA is a part of this narrative, marketing, how I'm changing. And so this third, how I'm getting the story out, how I'm navigating it is, I mean, I kind of fondly call it vulnerable authority. I'm being really vulnerable with the
Mm.
fact that these are decisions I made when I was younger, about my name, about the narrative, about the storytelling, and all those things. Again, it's okay to change my mind
Yes, I love that.
and
That's a
move.
powerful message. You can still change your mind at any time.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
moving from showing people the patterns to now my focus is around, well, a part of my focus is helping people to see the patterns themselves.
So powerful.
And that means understanding. that it's okay to unmask, to let go, because the first, I am my primary partner.
Hmm.
So the first relationship, the first marketing has to be with me. I have to stop that little negative voice that makes myself small, that I'm trying to network, no, to convince people, to manipulate. I once read a quote, something that said, people pleasing is manipulation with a smile.
Ooh, that's a powerful one and true. Yes.
And so
Yes.
that becomes part of my understanding about how I want to communicate with people. I don't want to people please, but I also want to provide spaces where people feel, create spaces where people feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
And that means I also have to feel safe.
That's so powerful. And I love the what you're talking about. The it's never, too late and you're always evolving and you step into wherever you are at that moment. Um, I'm wondering if you can talk more about why this work that you're doing is so meaningful to you and what it means for the people that you're working with.
Why it's so meaningful. Hmm.
The change you wish to see in the
Yeah.
world. Yeah.
Um, Injustice is always something that's made me cry.
Mm,
Even as a child, I didn't, and before I had the language to fully understand it all. And I can hear my voice changing. I know that it hits deep. Um, and I look at where we are in the world. Polarize. I mean, look, we and I've been having really interesting conversations around this because are things different, or is the amplification of them so much so that we know more about it?
great
And so
point.
we have a deeper awareness. If the internet is about democratization, it's also amplification of news and insights and all those wherever they are. But rather than going, is it this or that? I'm going, well, both are true. The paradoxes are true. And so, sorry, I went down a spiral, and can
Take
you
your time.
repeat the
Yeah,
question?
it's just thinking about, when you've been on such a journey and where you are now and the people you're connecting with and the talks you're giving. I saw you in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
And what is it that, why do you find this work meaningful? What is this change that you're making? And when you worked with someone or an organization, what are these people walking away with? How is the world a different place because you have shared your
Okay.
insights and brilliance and magic with
Thank you.
us? Yeah.
So I think where got stuck was because I just got into that space of look at the state of the world at the moment.
Mm,
And there's polarization. Most of the governing of the world seems to be around this. It's binary. It's this or that. It's left or right. It's male or female. It's or black or white. It's all of those things. And the world does not operate like that. And so there've many leaders in businesses feel that they have to be relatively performative in order to
yeah.
succeed, in order to reach the top, in order to maintain that, whilst internally they may feel something different or they may want to change and do something different. And especially, um, and I try not to speak generationally, but there is something kind of generationally as well. So kind of middle, and I've shared my age, so kind of that middle senior management are very good at what they do. They've been doing it for years. They've built profiles, got accolades, all
Yeah.
sorts of things. AI, emerging technologies is changing things, the way that you do it. Their organizations are wanting to bring in, we need to get agentic AI, we need to get this, we need to do that. And suddenly people are realizing, oh crap, maybe the AI is coming for me too.
Right.
So what does my role become? What is my purpose in something that I've done, I've been really good at and I've enjoyed to a certain extent? And I understand the impact that this AI emerging technologies is having on planet, mental health and well-being, all of those things. And so there's a shift, well, a remembering that we are paradoxes, that we can be part of the problem and part of the solution. And so my journey into my third act of writing the book was that remembering for myself of, oh, wait, no, I am a paradox. I'm part of the problem and part of the solution, and I can make different choices. And in order to do that, sometimes I have to allow myself to be messy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so this is my why is going to people, it's okay to be messy. There's not many spaces where, as leaders of businesses who have to know, have a finger and understand in everything and still have a conscience and still go, I've got a family that I'm responsible for. I've got mortgage to pay. I've got this. I've got school fees. I've got all these things. That tension leads, that tension leads to impacts your ability to answer the question, what type of ancestor do I want to be?
Hmm.
And so my why and the impact that I want to have is all of that. Is going, look,
Hmm.
it's three things. Power dynamics. We have various power dynamics in different spaces. You know, we're not one thing. We're not one
No.
identity. We're not one narrative. And yet many still do that. I'm this person at work. I'm this person at home. I'm this person with my friends.
Mm.
And this is something that I learned very early on in that first act. We are the common denominator.
Yeah.
And it's exhausting trying to shift,
Yeah.
shape shift
Absolutely.
for all of those things. And as chair, I'm chair of Mental Health First Aid England. We're a social enterprise. We train people to be mental health and suicide first aiders. I have been there for nearly 6 years.
Wow.
In July 2024, we trained our millionth person. And we
Wow.
opened an association of mental health first aid. And I am so passionate about that. And I recognize the impact that all of this stuff that I've just spoken about is having on people's mental health and well-being and the legacies that we create through our decisions, through inertia, through saying, I'm not going to make a decision. It always creates some kind of impact. And so
Mm.
this next third act for me is bringing all of those things together and going, let's stop trying to put things in a cell in a spreadsheet.
Mm.
Life does not operate like that. Can I, not can I, by living my life more authentically, but including changing my name, and some people, it confuses some people, but I explain why. And then when I
Yeah.
explain why, they're like, oh, okay, I get it. By living my life authentically, by going, I'm great at what I do. I enjoy what I do. These are the things that I'm good at. And also, I'm messy at this. I don't understand this. I don't
Yeah.
understand the social nuances.
Yeah.
And connecting those dots, in some ways, it's not, I'm not doing it to say that I'm role modeling. I'm just going, it's
It's
okay.
just what's happening.
But it's like, thank you. And it's also that thing of just going, "Ah, but you know what? For once in my life, I don't have my shoulders up here.
Yeah. That's yes, yes, that's the feeling I was getting exactly is what you were describing. Instead, you are helping, educating, teaching, unlocking for people by working with them in organizations that they can be more of themselves. They can relax, they can express. It's
And
like,
look, one is not separate from the other. You can make good money. You can change the world. You can
sure.
do all these things. It's like a conversation the other day. Why is it that people who work in the third sector
Yeah.
don't get paid well?
Yeah.
And there's this expectation that, oh, well, if you're working for charity, you can't earn a lot of money. It's like, why?
Hmm.
Because you're doing work that is necessary in creating good legacies. And so what I'm doing is the power dynamics, it's the paradoxes,
Yeah.
going create spaces for those paradoxes where, okay, you may not be able to show it at work yet, So let me co-create a space with you, whether that's through one-to-one personal advisory. So not coaching, it's personal
Mm-hmm.
advisory. We build together. It's through this program that I'm co-creating with my friend, dear friend Galit, that is liminal, a
Mm.
space for those space holders. It's through my art,
Yeah.
which is taking systemic issues and going, what if our relationship with technology is transcendental? What if it's always about relationships? What if through, what if curiosity is the antidote to fear?
Yeah. I love it. It's there's so many powerful questions, and it sounds like it's all leading to really trying to unlock, unearth, like you said, help people remember what's already there so that they can make a bigger impact in whatever way they want to
Yeah.
do. And that by doing this, this is the way to get there.
And yes, and there's the and without minimize burning out. I've burnt out
Yeah.
5 times.
Mm.
5 times, and once
Wow.
it ended up in a FM and then in an MRI machine because they thought I had a slip disc.
Oh my goodness.
But it was actually just internalized. And I was sleeping 2 hours a night and going, oh, yeah,
Oh,
I'm super productive. I mean, I'm
yeah.
super productive, but this is just how I'm supposed to be. No, it's not.
Mm. Yeah, the human side of your life,
Yeah.
making sure you're showing up for yourself.
So the thing we said at the beginning,
Hmm.
you read my intro, and then I said,
Yeah.
well, but I'm human.
Yes.
And I think that that's it. It's reminding people that they are human
Yeah.
and hope, there is a hope that that means that people individually and collectively, we reduce, minimize, eradicate the dehumanization of others,
That's
all
powerful.
others,
Hmm.
all others, and that we remember that we are not separate from nature, we are nature. And so
Yes.
what we are creating is creating us. What we are destroying is destroying us.
Yeah. Wow. Well, those are some very powerful words. I think it's a great point to stop and leave that just to let everyone absorb that. If you haven't had enough, which I haven't, I'm going to link to your TED Talks, plural, and also your website and the link to your book. Just to wrap up, are there any last words you'd like to send us off with into the world? One action, one thing to consider or think about, that will help us move this forward?
Oh, let me see. Oh, can I read you something?
Yes,
It's a
please.
quote. It's not one of mine, but it's a quote that I hope brings people some kind of I hope it acts as a reassurance.
Mm, that's what we need right now, please. Yes, please.
And so a friend introduced it to me, this quote to me,
Okay.
and it has made such a difference in my life, especially in times of complexity, increasing complexity.
Okay.
Nature loves courage. You make the commitment, and nature will respond to that commitment by removing impossible obstacles. Dream the impossible dream, and the world will not grind you under, it will lift you up. This is the trick. This is what all of these teachers and philosophers who really counted, really touched the alchemical gold, this is what they understood. This is the shamanic dance in the waterfall. This is how magic is done. By hurling yourself into the abyss and discovering it's a feather bed. That's by Terence McKenna.
Wow. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for your time and your energy and your wisdom. And if anyone wants to connect with you, I'll share the links below,
Thank
like I
you so
said.
much. And thank you for the invitation.
I'm so happy you said yes. Thank you.
Take care.
Okay. Till next time.
Bye.
Bye.